Hello, children. Good morning. Hope all are doing fine. Okay, participants are getting joined. Till then, let us recapitulate what we learned yesterday. Yes, Aniket, who had never believed in mere utility. Aniket,
The wrong man.
yes. Okay, you can mute yourself. Charan, what were the things prepared by this wrong man on earth? Mention the things which were prepared by this wrong man when he was on earth.
Sculptures of men, women, and castles and
Uh,
Gorgon
okay,
things.
it's not castles, it is castles. Okay, castles, castles, quaint earthen things dotted over with seashells. Okay, fine. Next, Karthik. Karthik, Karthik Gowda.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what is the figure of speech used in the sentence "moving finger writes even in heaven"?
Personification.
Okay, very good. Neeraj, Neeraj, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. God, we haven't a moment to spare. Who said this to whom? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, who said that? God, we haven't a moment to spare. Did you read the lesson again yesterday?
Sir, no.
You have to, okay? Mahesh,
Sir.
okay, mute yourself. So after answering, dear children, after answering, you can mute yourself. Mahesh,
Yes, sir.
God, we haven't a moment to spare. Who said this to whom?
Wrong man.
Is that wrong, man? Paragraph number 6. Mahesh,
Yes, sir.
God, we haven't a moment to spare. Kripa, Kripa, who said that? God, we haven't a moment to spare. Kripa, Nikhil Naik, almost all have forgotten what was taught yesterday.
Sir, men on the workers' paradise.
Yeah, those who were the men in the workers' paradise, they said this. Good. Yeah. At last, okay, let's continue. So yesterday I had stopped up to 10th paragraph. So the busy girl of heaven saw this one and was filled with pity. She was filled with pity because the wrong man was not having any work, he was idle. Everybody was busy, and this wrong man, he was idle. So, by looking at this person, she felt she was completely filled with pity. And then, so 11th paragraph, let's start. Hey, ha! She cried with concern. You have no work in hand, have you? The man sighed. Work? I haven't a moment to spare for work. The girl did not understand his words and said, I shall spare for some work for you to do if you like. The man replied, Girl of the silent torrent, all this time I have been waiting to take some work from your hands. What kind of work would you like? Will you give me one of your pictures, one that you can spare? So, before beginning the lesson, just write down these new words, children. Yesterday we had stopped up to 10. The last word was picture. 11th word, hope you are able to hear me. 11th word, annoyed. Annoyed means troubled. Arun, is my voice audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Annoyed means troubled. Next word, walk away. Walk away. It's a phrasal verb. Walk away means casually, casually, or casually or irresponsibly, casually or irresponsibly. Withdraw from a situation, casually or irresponsibly withdraw from a situation. Thirteenth word, yield, Y-I-E-L-D. Y-I-E-L-D. Here, yield means surrender. Yield means surrendered. Surrender. Yield means surrender. 14th one, puzzle. Puzzle. The meaning of the word puzzle is unable to understand. Unable to understand. The next word, that is the 15th word, set out. Set out. Once again, it's a phrasal verb, set out. Begin a journey. Set out means begin a journey. Last word, slip by. Phrasal verb, slip by. Slip by means leave quietly. Okay, this is enough. Let's come back. The girl was totally filled with pity when she looked at this wrong man. So later, she cried with concern. How did she cry? Hey ha! You have no work in hand, have you? She asked whether he had no work in hand. So there was no work in his hand. So she was wondered to see this fellow. So you can see the question tag there. You have no work in hand. The question tag is have you? Negative. Have no work. That means haven't. So negative turns into have. The man sighed. Work? I haven't a moment to spare for work. Yes, the reply was given by this person, the wrong man. He sighed, he took a long deep breath, and He answered, work? When he heard the word work, he answered, work? No, he hadn't a moment for any. He hadn't a moment to spare for any work. There was no time for him to spend for any special work. He wanted to take rest. The girl did not understand his words and said, I shall spare some work for you to do if you like. So, when the answer was given by the wrong man, the girl didn't understand his words, and she said that she would spare some work for him to do. She was ready to offer him some work. The man replied, girl of the silent torrent, all this time I have been waiting to take some work from your hands. Yes, he had been waiting for something. He had been waiting to take some work from her hands. What was it? Then she asked, what kind of work would you like? What kind of work he would like? She was ready to offer him, so that is why she asked this. Then the wrong man, he says, he just asks, he just begs, will you give me one of your pictures? One that you can spare. What did he ask? He asked her to give one of her pictures. One of her pictures means only one picture which she would spare. What was the reply? She asked, Arre? She didn't understand what this person is asking. She asked, a picture? You want to draw water from the torrent? Yes, this girl, she was always busy in the work, so that is why she asked him whether he liked to have, or whether he wanted to have that. He wanted to have that pitcher to draw water from the torrent, to water from that flowing stream. No, I shall draw pictures on your picture. The girl was annoyed. What was the answer given by that wrong man? He said that he would draw pictures on her picture. Picture and picture. Picture, the meaning is already given to you. A container or a pot made up of clay. This person, the wrong man, he had asked for a picture because he wanted to draw pictures on it. What was he doing on earth? He was drawing pictures, he was painting, he was preparing some sculptures. Sculptures of men, women, and even some castles too. Likewise, after coming to the paradise, he didn't change his mindset. He just went on doing the same thing. What did he ask? He asked for a picture. For what? Just to draw pictures on it. Pictures indeed. I have no time to waste on such as you. I'm going. And she walked away. Walk away. Walk away is a phrasal verb, casually or irresponsibly withdraw from a situation or move away from there. What did the girl do? The girl heard the reply of this wrong man. The wrong man wanted to draw pictures on it. The girl got confused. She had never spent her life in this. She was always busy in her task. She was always busy in drawing the water from the torrent. So when he answered that he wanted to have that picture to draw picture on it. She didn't understand what he was meaning. Pictures indeed, really? Are you asking to draw pictures on it? Yes, she hadn't have any time. She didn't have any time with her. There was no time with her to waste for such things as he was doing there. And she walked away. She just went away from there. She did not stay there. She moved away from there. But how could a busy person get the better of one who had nothing to do? Every day they met, and every day he said to her, "Girl of the silent torrent, give me one of your clay pictures. I shall draw pictures on it." Earlier, when he had asked, the girl had rejected and she had moved away from there. This meeting just continued for many days. Every day he was coming and asking for that picture to draw pictures on it. The girl just she did not respond anything and she moved away every day. He repeated. Every day they met, and every day he said to her, "Girl of the silent torrent, give me one of your clay pictures." He asked for the clay picture. He would draw pictures on it. She yielded at last. Dear children, when someone troubles you too much, what will you do? What will be your answer? Nikhil, if I trouble you too much, what will happen? Nikhil,
Sir,
if I trouble you too much to write to complete your homeworks, what will you do? You'll block my number on WhatsApp, right?
I will complete my. No, sir.
If your teachers trouble you to do your homeworks, what will you do?
Sir, I will do my homework.
Okay, Nikhil, thank you. Neha Hegde. Neha Hegde, please switch on your video. Neha,
Sir, with Sneha.
you only. Have you written anything there in the chat box?
Sir, where?
Nothing? Okay, no issues, Neha. Let us continue. No issues, no issues. I'll ask one more, Neha. Neha Hegde. Sorry, Neha. I'll ask one more, another one. Neha,
Yes.
have you written anything in the chat box?
No, sir. Sir.
Okay, no issues. Thank you.
Okay.
Let us continue. Your chat box is seen by everyone. So please don't chat anything over there. Let's continue. Girl of the silent torrent, give me one of your clay pictures. When he asked again, she surrendered herself. She surrendered herself. She gave him one of her pictures. One of her picture was given to this wrong man. The man started painting. He drew line after line. He put color after color. Color after color, line after line was put by this wrong man on the clay picture. When he had completed his work, the girl held up. When he had completed his work, the girl held up the picture and stared at its sides, her eyes puzzled, brows drawn. She asked, "What do they mean? All those lines and colors, what is their purpose?" Dear children, when this wrong man asked for a clay picture, she gave it. The girl of the silent torrent, she handed over one of her clay pictures to him. After receiving it, what did he do? What did he do? Nitin Shetty. What did the wrong man do after receiving that clay picture? Nitin Shetty, Nivedita, what did the wrong man do after receiving the clay picture from the girl?
He drew line after line and he put color after color.
Okay, very good. So afterwards, when the girl received it, when it was given to the girl by that wrong man, the girl's eyes were puzzled. She was unable to understand what did it mean, because she had never spent her time in this useless task. She was always busy in her work. Her brows drawn, she asked, what do they mean? All those lines and colors, what is their purpose? What was the purpose behind this painting? What did they mean? What was the meaning of those lines and colors? She didn't understand. She asked him, and the man just laughed. Why did he laugh? He answers, "Nothing. A picture may have no meaning and serve no purpose." He hadn't believed in this in a profitable work. So that is why he answers, a picture may have no meaning. A picture may have no meaning in it. A picture may serve no purpose. There is no purpose behind this. There is no meaning behind this. The girl went away with her picture. At home, away from prying eyes, she held it in the light, turned it round and scanned the painting from all angles. At night, she moved out of bed, lighted a lamp, and scanned it again in silence. For the first time in her life, she had seen something that had no meaning and no purpose at all. So what did the girl do? The girl went away with her picture. She took the picture and she went back to her home. At home, away from prying eyes, she inspected that clay picture very closely. She held it in the light. She went before the light and just observed, turned it round and round by taking the clay picture like this. She turned it round and round. Did she find any meaning there? No. And scanned. Yes, she looked all parts of this picture, but there was no meaning behind that. She didn't understand anything. From all angles, she observed it. At night, she moved out of bed, lighted a lamp. The writer writes here as at night she moved out. Why it is? Why did she move out at night? Because she was worried about the elders. They would have scolded her. So that's why she moved out of her bed at night, switched on the light, lighted a lamp, and scanned it again in silence. In silence, she scanned it, she observed it minutely. For the first time in her life, she had seen something that had no meaning and no purpose at all. For the first time, she had come to know there will be some works which will have no meanings and no purposes behind them. Panaga, any confusions?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Preeti, Preeti,
Ha, sir.
what did the wrong man ask to the girl to give?
To give the pictures to draw in the picture.
Are you clear in your answer? Is that did he ask for a picture or for a picture?
He asked.
Yes. Yes, continue,
He
Preeti.
asked. He asked one of your pictures.
Pictures or pictures?
Pictures.
Picture. Okay. Yes.
Pictures.
Yeah. One of her pictures. That means a picture. Madike, a pot. Okay, good. When she set out for the torrent the next day, her hurrying feet were less hurried than before, for a new sense seemed to have awakened in her life. Awakened in her a sense that seemed to have no meaning and no purpose at all. For the first time in her life, dear children, she had come to know the works which didn't have any meaning with them. She didn't find any purpose behind such works. When she set out for the torrent, when she moved out to draw water from the torrent, her hurrying feet, every day she was hurrying. But now her feet had become slow. Her feet were little less hurried than before, for a new sense seemed to have awakened in her. A new sense had awakened in her mind. What was it? A sense that seemed to have no meaning and no purpose at all. She came to know that there were some works which they didn't have any meaning behind them, which didn't have any purpose behind them. She saw the painter standing by the torrent and asked in confusion, "What do you want of me? Only some more work from your hands." Who saw the painter? The girl saw the painter standing by the torrent. This wrong man had come to the torrent once again to trouble this girl and asked in confusion. Now she got confused and asked, what did she ask? What did he want of her? So, what was needed by her? Only some more work from your hands. Yes, he wanted some more works from her hands. What kind of work would you like? She asked him what kind of work he would like. Let me make a colored ribbon for you, for your hair, he answered. Yes, he answered that he would make a colored ribbon for her. In the beginning, he had painted a picture. He had put line after line, color after color on her picture and was given to her. Now he wanted to go with a colored ribbon. And for what? Yes, the same question from the girl's end. And for what? Why it is? Why are you going to prepare that colored ribbon? Answer from the end of the wrong man is nothing. There is nothing. I will prepare it. No reason, no purpose, no meaning. Ribbons were made bright with colors. Ribbons were made bright with colors. The busy girl of Workers' Paradise had now to spend a lot of time every day tying the colored ribbon around her hair. The minutes slipped by unutilized. Much work was left unfinished. What was prepared by the wrong man? Nutan, what was prepared by the wrong man? For the second time, not for the first time. What was prepared? Nutan?
One.
Yes, the ribbons were made. How were they? Pratham Pandit, how were the ribbons?
Bright color.
Bright with colors.
Hmm.
Yeah. The busy girl of the Workers' Paradise had now to spend a lot of time. Now just refer the paragraph number 9. Her hair was carelessly done. How was it done? It was carelessly done. It was scattered. It was not in a right way. Now, the wrong man prepared a ribbon for her and gave it. After receiving the ribbon, what did she do? She just wasted her time in tying and untying. She tied it and untied it. Later, her work left out like that. The minutes slipped by. The time just moved. It slipped. The time just left quickly, unutilized. Her time was not used in an effective way. Much work was left unfinished. Lots of work was left unfinished. She was unable to complete her works just because of this ribbons. These ribbons, which were given by this wrong man, what did she do with that? She tied and untied, and her work just left out like that only. Here you can see two words, unutilized and unfinished. Utilized, unutilized, unfinished, finished. You can observe the prefixes here. Along with that, you can see the antonyms too. Utilize, just before that, the word un that is added, and then finished, just before that, un is added. So unutilized and unfinished prefixes. After that, if you observe the antonyms of them, you are unutilized, the antonym for it is utilized, and unfinished, that is finished. Let's move on to next paragraph. In Workers' Paradise, work had of late begun to suffer. Many persons who had been active before were now idle, wasting their precious time on useless things such as painting and sculpture. Dear children, before the arrival of this wrong man to this paradise, to the Workers' Paradise, all the people of the Workers' Paradise were busy in their work. But now, when he entered to this Workers' Paradise, almost all the people, they started to do what he was doing. In workers' paradise, work had of late begun to suffer. Many persons who had been active, those who were active, those people of the workers' paradise who were very active earlier, they started to become idle. They became idle, wasting their time, precious time, on useless things such as painting and sculpture. They too started to paint, they too started to prepare some sculptures. By doing all these things, they forgot their works, what they had to do. The elders became anxious. A meeting was called. All agreed that such a state of affairs had so far been unknown in the history of workers' paradise. Now, the elders of the workers' paradise, they were totally worried about this because the atmosphere of this workers' paradise was getting changed. They had forgotten their work and they just went on behind this painting and sculpture. That is why they called for a meeting. They wanted to sort it out. All agreed that such a state of affairs had so far been unknown. Yes, this kind of work had never seen in this workers' paradise, like painting and all, painting and preparing the sculptures and all. This kind of work had never seen in this workers' paradise. Now, what is happening? All are following that wrong man. So they wanted to change this. The aerial messenger hurried in, bowed before the elders, and made a confession. Who hurried in? Yes, now the aerial messenger who had taken this wrong man from the earth to the workers' paradise wrongly, mistakenly hurried in. Yes, now he entered and he bowed before the elders and asked, and he just made his confession. Yes, he admitted himself that he had made a mistake. He had mistakenly brought this wrong man to this workers' paradise. And he says, I brought a wrong man into this paradise. Who had brought this wrong man into this paradise? The wrong man. He agreed that he had made a mistake. He said, and he continued, it is all due to him. Yes, it was all due to that wrong man. It was not because of any other. It was just because of that wrong man. Because of him only it had happened. He agreed his mistake. The man was summoned. As he came, the elders saw his fantastic dress, his quaint brushes, his paints, and they knew at once that he was not the right sort for workers' paradise. Who was called? Who was summoned? Summoned means called. Who was called now? The wrong man was called to the meeting. As he came, as he entered, the elders saw his fantastic dress, his quaint brushes, his paints. Yes, he had come with his quaint brushes. He had come with his paints, and they knew at once that he was not the right sort for workers' paradise. They understood that this was not the right person to fit in this workers' paradise. Stiffly, the president said, this is no place for the like of you. Yes, you must leave. The president strongly he said to this he ordered to this wrong man to leave this paradise. This is no place for the like of you. Yes, this is not the right place for you, wrong man. You have come here wrongly. You have to leave. You must leave this place. This was the order passed by the president. The man sighed in relief and gathered up all his brush and paints. But as he was about to go, meeting will end. But as he was about to go, the girl of the silent torrent came up, tripping, and cried, "Wait a moment, I shall come with you." The man sighed in relief. Yes, the man was waiting for this moment. He was not ready to be there. He wanted to go out. So he thanked God because the president had asked him to go out. He was so happy. He gathered up his materials, he gathered up his paint, he gathered up his brush and everything. As he was about to go, as he was ready to go, who came? The girl of the silent torrent. She came up tripping. With quick steps, she entered and she cried, wait a moment. I shall come with you. Just wait. Hey, wrong man, wait for me. I'll come with you." Yes, she was ready to go with him. The elders gasped in surprise. Never before had a thing like this happened in workers' paradise, a thing that had no meaning and no purpose at all. The elders the elders were astonished and surprised. The elders were surprised to see this because such kind of work was never seen. It was never seen by the elders of the workers' paradise. So they were surprised because not even a single person had done this. This girl was the first one who was ready to follow this wrong man. Never before had a thing like this happen in workers' paradise, a thing that had no meaning and no purpose at all. They had never come to know a kind of work which had no meaning and no purpose. So, children, finally, here in this lesson will see two kinds of words. One is the word of the wrong man, and another one is the word of the people who are in the workers' paradise. The wrong man, what was he doing? He was spending his time in useless works. But in the another world, if you take the people of the workers' paradise, what were they doing? They were completely busy in their works. The man was doing for happiness, and these people of the workers' paradise, they were finding their happiness in their work. First one, the word of the idler makes our mind happy. And the second one, the word of the people, of the word of the workers' paradise. So that is, that gives something to our body. If you just think of your happiness